gonna go over our first choke, the rear naked choke. My arm is gonna go all the way to the other side of the neck, and I want to close this loop with my chin. My second hand is gonna slide behind his head, and I'm gonna grab my bicep here. It should be pretty tight, and I can start to give a little squeeze, and then he's gonna tap. Okay. I can also do it just with my chin. Start to squeeze here, and he should start to feel a little bit lightheaded, and I can start to squeeze a little more, and then he's gonna tap. Okay. For maximum strength, and so he can't get out, I'm gonna grab my bicep here. Okay. But this hand, I need to hide it. If it's loose, he can grab it. Can I grab it? Even if it's on the top of his head, he's gonna grab it and then start to grab my other hand, and now there's no more choke. Okay, so I wanna have this here and the hand hidden. Try to separate my hand or try to get away at all, right? And that's where we're gonna be able to get the choke, because he's not gonna be able to separate my hands. And start to give a little squeeze. From this position, I don't have any control over his rotation. So if I'm here, what Paul can do is he can start to rotate, and then he's gonna get, yeah, exactly, start to rotate and put your back on the ground. And then I'm gonna end up losing it there. So one more time, just see if you can do a little more smoothly now that you know the direction. He's gonna go down this way here. Start to put your back on the ground. Yeah. Keep putting me back on the ground, and then I've pretty much lost it. If I want to keep the back position, stay behind him, it's good for me because he doesn't really have any attacks. What I need to do is keep my legs, see I'm kind of pinching here. I need to keep my knees around his waist here. Or even better, I can throw in my hooks. You'll see this in Jiu-Jitsu a lot with him, if he's just sitting on the ground. Now I can keep him from rotating. Try to put your back on the ground. And I have this foot here. What I can even do is put the foot on the ground, and you just have to take it to the other side, and then I can finish it. If he's back in that kneeling position, I probably don't want to start choking him here because he can rotate out. But what I probably want to do is, as he starts to try to do that escape, I want to get underneath of him. Here, throw in my hooks. Now that I have hooks, he's not going to be able to rotate and escape. Okay? So I can do a little squeeze. And there's our finish. Okay? Do you have any questions?
No, it's tight.
Tight? Okay. Or where do you see beginners mess up the rear naked choke?
I think starting out much too loose and trying to close too much space.
If I'm maybe like this or something?
Yeah, that's a long way from start to finish. You started out almost finished. Yeah,
There.
that's dangerous.
So the way the strangle works, it's not necessarily a choke. Max, can you stop, please? It's a strangle. I want to cut off the blood going through his carotid arteries to his brain, so we can shut off the flow of oxygen. Okay? I don't want to be loose, just like Paul said. I want to be connected and have my forearm touching his neck, and then my bicep on the other side touching his neck. We're gonna create the same effect with his own collar now. What I want to do is connect now, instead of my the inside of my elbow here, my forearm and my bicep. Instead of using that, I'm going to use the blade of my wrist here, just like that. And that's what's going to, can you come to the side? This connection here, come on, here. That's where I want my hand, okay? What the gi does, I'm just anchoring, okay? And I'm touching on this side. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Connect. Now my second hand's gonna come underneath, and I'm gonna connect to his neck, okay? So I don't want my wrist bent or floppy. I wanna crunch, curl, and have my wrist straight. Here, boom. Okay. Now my head is gonna go to the top hand, and I can start to pull. Okay. There's two ways to finish this. One is actually just curling my wrist and touching his neck. Okay. Because I'm anchored to the gi, it's gonna create a little bit of pressure. And here, I'm almost choking him kind of like this, okay? One more time, put this one in, second one. So now watch, I'm just gonna curl my wrist, and he's gonna start getting a little lightheaded, and then he has to tap, okay? Just like that. I didn't pull or anything. If I was loose, it's not gonna work. Or if I'm not really touching him, it's not gonna work. So I have to connect. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Okay. The second way to finish is to actually do a pull. I want to bring my elbows and scrape them along my ribs and pull my elbows to my back. Okay. Once again, I don't want to have any loose material. I'm going to take out the slack. I get one hand in, and I get my second hand in. The first thing I want to do again is I want to make it nice and snug. I want to make it tight. I'm not pulling it. I'm not using any strength, okay? Now I can get my ribs close to my elbows, and then I start to pull. I'm barely pulling, so it should be really tight, okay? So we can do this from the guard. We can do this from the mount. Where do you see beginners mess this up?
Starting out with a meaningful grip and again concentrating too much at the end. A lot of motion, try to put a lot of motion, emphasis at the end, what they're doing at the end, and at the beginning is not having a meaningful grip at the beginning.
Yeah. So what do you mean by meaningful grip? You show me a meaningful grip.
Well, not a meaningful.
Why do we say meaningful? What does it mean if you have this thing here? What does that mean to me?
Well, it's a threat for you.
It's a threat? Threat to do what?
The threat on the carotid, or just even to control you. The threat against your carotid.
Do you play chess? You play chess, okay? You know what check? You say check, then there's checkmate, right? This is like having check. Because if I turn this way, yeah, he can get the second one, and now it's over. If he's a little bit lower, this grip doesn't mean much. I can come this way, he's not gonna choke me. He can pull as hard as he wants, it's not gonna happen, okay? But if he has this grip here, this means something to me. I cannot turn this way. I'm gonna tap immediately. So if he has this grip, I have to turn away and look to get away this way until I can, of course, break it. That's what we mean by meaningful. So if Paul's on the bottom and I'm in his guard, he has my neck, okay? I cannot turn this way. He's gonna choke. I'm gonna look to escape the guard, going back this way without him having access to choking me, okay? From here, I have a couple options. Because my posture is a little bit compromised, okay, I need to be careful not to get put into side close guard. Okay, what side close guard? He's gonna turn to his side and move my arm out of the way. Now he has free access to my back. If I just sit here, he's gonna look to come around and get onto my back. Now this is bad for me. We saw earlier and how you can have a rear naked choke. So he's gonna start to go for the rear naked choke. Just like that, or on the other side, he's gonna hit, and then slide your knee underneath, rotate around, and look, I could have put my back on the ground, he got the hooks in, and he can go for that finish, and hit me, okay? Ideally, if I'm in his guard, I don't let him put his hands on my neck, and I can be postured up and stay back here. Okay? But if he does break me down, mainly with his legs, he's gonna pull me in with his legs. Oh, they got the hand on the neck. I have to look to get out and not give him access to my other side so he can choke me. Okay? I want to try to bring everything to the inside as I bring my shield through. As we spoke in class, we want to have this knee-elbow connection. Now I can re-engage. I can start coming this way, give him some pressure, because I've passed his legs. If he tries to choke me here, he might be able to get me, okay? But he's also at risk that I can get an arm bar, okay, if he's gonna keep holding. I want to open the legs by moving away. He's gonna try to cross my arm. I need to try to avoid that. Square him back up. And get to a place where I can continue to move forward and put pressure, but he can't choke me, okay? Good job.